Hello and welcome. This is Katie. Thanks so much for stopping by. I am back with another project for Maker Forte, and today I am doing the Joseph's Coat technique using stencils. Most people know this technique using stamps and clear embossing powder, but we're going to do it with stencils. I'm going to use one stencil. I'm actually going to make my own, and we're going to use the square matrix die from Maker Forte. Now, they do sell, this is a slimline die. They do have a normal, like I think 6x6 stencil in the shop, so I'll link that down below too. But I use this 7.5 mil mylar. I pick it up at Amazon, this 15 sheets, and they're 12x12 sheets, so you know they go a long way and it's quite affordable. What I found is you need like a precision base plate. I have a Big Shot in order to get that die to cut out that mylar. But you can absolutely cut it out, and it's a good, weight mylar to be able to create stencils with your dies. So I'm using Flamingo, Yellowstone, Blue Raspberry, and Grape for my rainbow blend. Now, if you happen to catch a video I did a few weeks back where I ink blend directly on a stamp, I actually used Flamingo, Yellowstone, and Blue Raspberry to create some color blends. Now, the Grape was a shot in the dark. I wasn't sure if it was going to be too light or too dark, but it actually worked out to be just perfect. So if you have a couple different purples in the Color Hive ink line, be sure and kind of do a little test. You can see I'm tapping that purple off before I apply it to the cardstock, because if you have a heavy deep purple, you can tap it off and work it in lighter to get the color that you're looking for. Okay, so here's our stencil. I've created a hinge. I did do 6 panels of this, and I did the rest of them, the other 5 off camera, but I ran out of black cardstock for the card base, so we're only going to do 5 today, and I'll order some more of that and finish that card later on. But I'm going to show this technique that I'm doing twice. So there's obviously lots of different ways that you can apply your black ink. It doesn't matter which one. I'm using the Eclipse black ink from Maker Forte. But blending with the blending brush I find is very difficult. So for no other reason that you tend to get little feathers like you see there at the top of that panel. Now I'm going to show you again with a pouncing technique. So if you don't have any foam tools, which is actually what I recommend, I just didn't have any new ones laying around so that I could switch out and just have one for my black. But I do recommend the foam because it's a little less fatiguing tapping and pouncing on the stencil. But if you have a blending brush and that's all you have, I'm showing you here that you can do it, but definitely do the pouncing technique to apply your black ink. That way you get a nice crisp line, which I'm going to show you here in just a second. I don't know why. I just found, for me personally, it just works better to apply the ink in a pouncing motion. So I'm just checking here to make sure that, because it's hard to see with all that black there if everything is filled in, but you see how crisp those lines are with just doing a pouncing technique. So now I'm going to do my sentiment, and I cut a black heart out of a layering heart die set that I have, and I'm using some Versamark Dazzle and Frost. Any embossing ink is going to work fine for this. I'm going to use some detail white embossing powder from Hero Arts, and the sentiment comes from the I Adore You stamp set from Alex Iberia and Maker Forte. So I wanted to use one from the Confetti Celebrations, but it was too blotchy. Because the letters are thicker, the words didn't come out clear enough. So this actually worked out perfect because it fit perfectly within that heart size. Now I'm making 4-bar cards, so these panels measure 2.5 by 4 inches, and then of course the card base is going to measure 7 by 4 7/8. That's only because with the stencil, as you saw, there's kind of a border around, and I wanted to make sure that our pattern went edge to edge. So we obviously could have made that a little bit bigger, this 2.5 by 4, a little bit wider, a little bit longer. But the other stencil that I'm going to link up to you can make any size card really. And of course you could do mini slimline, with the slimline die as well. But that is going to wrap it up, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Be sure and check the description box below for the products used. And also the link to the Crafter Party, which is Maker Forte's Facebook group. And share what you guys are making. We love to see what you guys are creating. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic day. And I'll catch you in the next video.